Welcome to YSL Paint Party, and today I'm going to walk through another Paint This Finish video. This time we're going to use these cute little sample boards for these type of videos, and as you can see we have Poseidon, matte varnish, black glaze, and heavy metals gilding paints to create this beautiful finish we have here. The heavy metals gilding paint, we have a custom mix, and I'll go over that part when we get there. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these Paint This Finish videos. If you are, I hope you subscribe, hit like, and share this out. And if this is something you're looking forward to, stay tuned. So to start off, I got my Klingon S50, my favorite brush to paint with, and of course these little sample boards. We have Poseidon chalk synthesis paint, we have our YSL matte varnish, and our black glaze, and we have bronze and gold dust of our heavy metals gilding paints. Now I've mixed these two together to give this really beautiful golden brassy color, and that's the mixture we're going to be using for today. So first and foremost, if you have, something that you're painting that's wood, or just in general, I'm usually a component of priming. When I do my proper prep steps, priming is one of them. So for this type of thing, especially if it's wood, you're worried about bleed through and stuff like that, make sure you clean and prime. For this, just a sample board, didn't worry about it. So yeah, as you can see, I just went straight at it with Poseidon. Absolutely stunning color. Goes on this really middle to deep tone blue-green, and as you'll see when it dries quite a bit darker. So what it comes out of the can might not necessarily be the swatch. So just be aware of that as you're looking at it. So as you can see right here as I'm going on how much lighter the wet paint looks compared to what it looks like dry. So just take note of that. A lot of our paints are like that, where what the swatch is what it'll be top coated. So if you're looking at a digital swatch, it's usually what it's going to look like top coated, not what it's going to look like wet out of the can, and not what it's going to look like painted on and dry. It's usually top coated, because even top coating will change the color, and you'll see that here very shortly. But it's absolutely stunning color. I love how it does change, because it darkens and then continues to darken into this really beautiful deep blue-green color. So that was 2 coats we went ahead and put on. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to add that matte varnish. And once again, it's going to deepen even further. And of course, it's water-based varnish, so it's going to dry and it's going to lighten up just a hair from where it actually stays. And oh, by the way, the sheen that you see is going to almost completely disappear like a wax, because our matte varnish is just amazing for that. It's a matte varnish, so it's going to dry a beautifully matte finish, and just like you would our unscented hemp salve or clear waxes. So if you're looking for that wax finish but with a little bit more protection, this is the way to go. I love using the matte varnish for when I'm glazing, because you're going to need that layer in between your chalk paint and your glaze. So that's what I did. I did 1 coat of our varnish to give us that nice surface to start from. And then as you saw, my little trick I have been using for years is unscented baby wipes to wipe back the glaze. So I have our black glaze I'm going to brush on with our YSL premium brush, and as you can see, that does not look black, but I can tell you from much use of this glaze, it will end up black, and you'll see it as we go through this video. It's this grayish charcoal color, but it's just the medium that carries the color that dries and dissipates and goes away, and only leaving the black color behind. So don't fret, don't freak out. If you open a can, you're like, why is this not black? It'll end up black. So as you can see, I brushed it on everywhere, going in the directionality of the way I want this done. I'm wiping that glaze back. So I'm going along streaks in one direction only, wiping it back, keeping the long streaks along the long edges and leaving that glaze down in all the recessed area. And as you'll see next, you'll see it start to darken already. So this color is a little bit tricky to capture on camera, even with the best ring lights you can find, which is pretty much what I have here in the shop. But you can tell just from that one switch over from the last video to this, you had that what was charcoal looking glaze turn black. So all your cracks and crevices and recessed areas, and even some really cool streaking over top of the Poseidon has now turned black. And of course you have to top coat your glaze. So I'm taking another coat of varnish. And if this was the side of a piece, I do one more coat. If it was the top, I do 2 to 3 more coats. So there you have it. So now for the fun part. So now that we've got all the paint, the glaze, the top coat, all done, now we get to add some of our very special heavy metals gilding paint. Now what I decided to do was mix a 1-for-1 mixture of our gold dust and bronze to give this really beautiful brassy gold color. And I think it just absolutely amazingly complements a lot of the blues that we have, the blue greens that we have, and it's become my favorite metallic color. And you see I just have a small flat chip style brush that I'm just gently rubbing over the edges. And of course another little trick, I don't know how many people have done this before, but this is just something I like to do when I'm doing just detailed areas. I just grab some blue painter's tape, I edge it all off. That way I can kind of, go to town with the dry brushing of the metallic paint and not have to stress over getting that metallic paint everywhere or try to be so meticulous. So I did the same thing across the top. I went ahead and taped off just the areas where I know I'm going to be dry brushing that gilding paint and just started going after it. So a little bit of dip into your mixture, a little bit of wipe off on a blue shop towel is the best way to go anytime you're dry brushing the metallic paints, because you don't want to have big globs of it on your brush. And I actually have a video here on YouTube how to dry brush on hardware using our heavy metals gilding paint. It's another really great video walk through using this style technique with metallic paint. Best way to do it in my opinion, and then layer it as you need to make it more complete. As you can see in this, I decided not to keep it really thick and layered because I wanted the Poseidon to peek through to give it that really cool metallic weathered look. So there you have it. This is a new finish for our Paint This Finish video series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you did, please hit subscribe and like, and don't forget to find your local retailer near you to buy some today.